Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of the Cardano Corner, the show that puts the Cardano community in the spotlight. Here for the week of August 30th, we have myself, Mike, in the bottom right, and we have Ian in the bottom left.
Hello, everyone. Third episode down. So far, so good. Just going to get a little easier as we keep going.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get on to it. Let's get into the news scoops.
All right. The first item we wanted to highlight today was staking rewards. So everyone's very excited. We have Bro posting about it in Reddit, and he is asking the community how excited they are. There's a lot of, obviously a lot of people are feeling it out, getting a good idea of what the rewards are going to be. But
it was really cool seeing ENDJA show up in our wallets.
That's right.
It was really fun for our stake pools to pay out rewards to our delegators. That was a real neat moment.
Yeah, and it's going to get a little more interesting as we have more and more pools produce more and more blocks. That just means more people are going to get involved, and they're going to talk to their friends about how cool it is to just see new ENDJA show up in their wallet. So this is exciting. Thank you, Bro, for bringing that up. Speaking of wallets.
Yeah, Daedalus 2.2.0 was released. I know we talked about that last week. This update was sorely needed because it really speeds up Daedalus. It makes it much more functional. Last week, I had a wallet that took multiple hours, maybe 4 hours to sync, which was crazy. When I loaded up Daedalus today, it took maybe 2 minutes once it connected to the network. So big improvement.
Yeah, so Katsumo here really did a good job of outlining where to download it, all the release notes, anything on Twitter that they talked about. He or she, I guess, has showed up in our show before. Really good poster on Cardano and very detailed post this week about the wallet. So
and also, as long as we're talking about Daedalus, just a reminder to our listeners, always download Daedalus from the official sources.
DaidalusWallet.io.
Yeah. Don't go anywhere else. Just stay with the Cardano Foundation and just go from there.
Right. So community review is next. Not a lot of news items this week, but a lot of good stuff from the community. So we'll jump right into this. Mike, this was interesting to me. I wanted you to maybe highlight this a little bit.
Well, Reddit user khalsz posted this what appeared to be a very exciting article about Cardano, spending ENDJA on Amazon, Nike, and Starbucks. This post, I was excited when I read this. It's slightly misleading because you can't quite go to those sites and use ENDJA to buy the things. You can buy gift cards that you can spend at all those, so it is something. But there was a little bit of commentary from the community about this, because not only can you not directly spend that ENDJA there, but there are some pretty significant tax implications for spending ENDJA right now, certainly in the US. If you cash out your ENDJA to spend it on something, it's a taxable transaction. I don't know if any of us are ready for that kind of tax headache, so maybe it's better that we hang on to our ENDJA until the tax situation is more clear.
Yeah, I think what it does do is it legitimizes ENDJA with these partners, and it brings it out into that next level of not just crypto people, and then maybe it shows up in a news aggregator somewhere and somebody reads about it and they go, oh, what is this ENDJA, and they do a little more research. So these things are good. They're baby steps, but they're ultimately, I think, good for the marketing side of Cardano and these.
But this isn't the first, and it's certainly not the last of the partnerships and the ways we're going to be able to spend our cryptocurrency. The lawmakers have to, they really need to take a look at this and start creating some regulations for this, because the regulations are all over the place, probably in other countries besides the U.S., and they need to bring the tax laws up to modern standards. Things are different now. So we can't have tax. We can't have taxation every time we bring out a crypto credit card. And that's what the second half of Beep Beep I'm a Bot's comment refers to. He says, I'm not sure many people will use a non-privacy crypto to buy things in the US. And I think that comment is entirely related to the fact that people buying with crypto don't want to deal with a tax headache. So hopefully the lawmakers in Congress can sort that out.
On our next post, I wanted to go back and highlight the user univocity for the work that he's continuing to do on a Shopify app using Cardano as a payment system. Not a big update, but he did post a really interesting video that takes everyone through the administration section for his app on Shopify. Obviously that link will be posted in the description below, so check that out. He's still powering through with it and making a lot of good progress. So nothing crazy to show except that there is an app created now and it's all ready to go. So great work there. We're continuing to watch how that's progressing. Mike.
I found a cool post from user tradefeedz. He posted something that Charles said mentioning plug and play pools from his AMAs. And if you're not sure what this plug and play pool is, here's a more close up picture of it. Kind of like this is like a Mac Mini. It's a little bit cheaper. I think the price on this one was $6.99. But the idea is that stake pools can be pre-installed, and we just have to plug this into the network, and you have a stake pool in the network. I think this lowers the barrier for stake pools a little bit. One thing that one issue you'll still have doing this, if you're going to run this from your home, is still the uptime and the internet connectivity from home. So, Ian, do you think this will be better than an Amazon AWS link site?
I think in a few ways this will be better. I think you can probably scale this a little bit more, so you can have 3 or 4 of them if you have a very secure, stable internet connection with cheap power. There's a reason why Amazon is the leader in cloud hosting. It's because their stability and their price puts them at a point where it's very easy to work with. This is great though. I think getting a Raspberry Pi, doing all of the programming. I mean that's a pretty high barrier of entry for a lot of people. I think this cuts out a lot of that and makes it pretty streamlined.
Well, what about some sort of plug and play thing right in the cloud? I mean, can't we just have an installer and just launch a stake pool right on the cloud server?
Oh, for sure. A lot of people are talking about creating instances within AWS that they can share that have a real base level installation of the Cardano node and everything that you need set up, and so you can just share it in AWS as just a public instance.
Right.
So I think that's coming. Maybe some people are trying to keep their trade secrets and they want to control their configuration a little bit, but I think as we start expanding out more, there will be more templated solutions available.
Right.
Both hardware and software.
So one of the other things that people were talking about was whether it was a good thing to have plug and play. I think, as user whatiscardano discusses, more pool operators does equal more decentralization. The other issue is if it's hard and risky, you could have people getting hacked, and we don't want a network that has low performance. So easier is probably better. We don't need to be afraid of making something simple for people to do. So anyway, thanks for the post, user tradefeedz.
Yeah, good points. This was this next post from BTC STKN. Staken. BTC Staken.
Bitcoin Staken.
Is there a way to measure pool performance, or is it all luck? So yes, there are ways to measure pool performance. There's some good responses here. Um, luck does play a part. That's part of the system. Um, if you have a good amount of stake, your luck goes up. As the D parameter goes down, you're more likely to create blocks. So there's some luck, but also I think you will be able to measure performance as we continue to progress. Um, like we talked about before, if we have more unstable pools versus the real hardened um, pools on high performance machines, those are just going to perform better. So it's good. I think as we get more into it, there will be more tools. People will continue to share dashboards and various things that they can use to measure pool performance. So we'll know more. Um, a couple comments from as Klobbinger um, kind of outlined what I said. The relative stake percentages. There are ratios of what we should be producing um, every epoch versus or depending on how much pledge there is and stuff like that. So I think Mike, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. Um, the smaller pools versus the larger pools right now, it's a little bit tricky.
It's gonna take a while for things to even out. I mean, it's probably going to be 3 to 4 months, 6 to 8 months before we can really tell a good performing pool from a poor performing pool, because every pool is going to have some lucky streaks and some unlucky streaks. It should all average out to 4 to 5% for delegators. It will be more consistent for the bigger pools than the smaller pools. The smaller pools will have epics where they have 20% versus 4%, and the bigger pools will probably never really get over 6%, at a good week, just because they have many more blocks divided many more ways. But it's just going to take a little while, and everyone just needs to be patient and just see the system work out. The math will work out.
Right.
Okay, here's a nice post from user Malkydot. He asked how much a pool can earn per block. So we've seen a lot of these kind of questions, and it's part of the education of Cardano. We saw some last week. There's still a lot of confusion about staking, and people want to know what they're going to get with every single block. And we had some good responses. User yottalogical, he was actually kind of the hero of this thread. He answered a ton of questions backed up with math. He using his calculations, he estimated about 1,777 ADA per block. So this is, and I actually was 1,014. This is still a little hard to estimate just because of all the factors of the D parameter and the K parameter and some of the rules changes. I know our stake pools had one of the payments was 6,000 for the week, and the one was 3,000 for the week. So it's going up and down so much. So when D equals 0, the ADA will probably even out to be this number. So I really like what Yottological said. So you have any comments on that, Ian?
No, not a lot. I think it's interesting that people are asking because that means they're interested and they want to get the best returns in their stake. And this is another reason why multi multi pool pledging is going to be big because people want to maybe have a higher risk pool to put their ADA in, and maybe a more secure one, or not secure but maybe more stable one, and they want to split it up. So I think that's why a lot of people are asking about this. What's the risk?
Well, the rollout's been so confusing too. I mean,
For
the
sure,
first two the first two staking rewards epics pools were limited to rewards for one block.
right?
So I mean, the rules have been changing. I think now the rewards are normal and what people expect. So it should be more consistent to explain. But the first two were a little confusing for people.
Well, and there's also that delay of when you first stake versus when you actually see the rewards. So much
It's yeah, right, two
so
epics.
much changes. You could be staked to a pool with 50 million, and then when you actually get the rewards, the stake could be 100 million, and you go, why isn't it more? Why isn't it less? It's because of the amount of time that's gone by. things change so much. So
people just need to learn to trust the system. The math works out.
Yeah.
All pools will be relatively equal in the end. The big pools and the small pools will all be 4 to 5%. It all will work out, but people just need to trust that, Charles Hoskinson and his team did things the right way.
Yep. But it's good. It's good. It's
Yep.
good we have people like Yottalogical answering questions and showing the math.
Yeah, good job, Yotta.
So next week, what's coming up for Cardano? We had more posts about more wallets and when is it going to be ready for mobile? A lot of people want everything to be updated on mobile. I know personally I'd love to have something on mobile that's real lightweight. We could see our balances and we wouldn't have to load up Daedalus on the desktop. So people are asking questions. There's nightly beta builds going out. Things are progressing, so we'll continue.
Well, just the fact that they're bringing this out is pretty cool. I know I feel safer on my Apple phone than my Windows laptop. Just Apple's a more sandbox environment, so I would rather check the balances on my iOS device than open up a Windows device.
Right. Yeah.
Right. I mean, the stake pools are all run on Linux-based machines, so they don't even deal with Windows. So I think that's the right idea.
Yep. So and other than that, it's just more of the same, more rewards going out, more people delegating across different stake pools, and more stake pools coming online. So
that's right.
Let's
give credit to user sscym for this one.
Oh, that's right.
He asked the question and he got a response right from Sebastian down below. It's really good that Sebastian visits the forums and posts a lot. I like that.
Yeah, and he's on it too. It's
he's young. He gets it.
He gets it. He gives answers that are clear and don't have a lot of secretive stuff in it. He tells you everything you need to know. So that's good.
Right. Cool.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week. Thank you. See ya.